Hello, I'm Kevin Grimes, CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Grimes and Company, and I'm here with another installment of the Bitcoin Diaries. Today is November 21st, being recorded just before market close. And so I just want to remind everybody that this is not specific investment advice. The purpose of the Bitcoin Diaries is to provide long-term investors with some insight on the attractiveness for entry points for potential positions, long-term positions in Bitcoin. Any specific advice or recommendations should be from a financial advisor. Please click on the link on our website, www.grimesco.com, or there'll be a link in the YouTube channel. So just you can contact an advisor for more specific advice. So remember that the tools we use for this service, we're going to be talking about trends. We have our trend score, which measures what direction Bitcoin's going in. There's other tools that help us with that too, including distribution channels and trend lines. And we also look at cycling. Cycling is measuring the natural highs and lows of Bitcoin or any asset for that matter. But for this installment for Bitcoin, we are using windows of 6 weeks to 6 months to look at dominant cycles. So let's get right into it. A lot to talk about this week. I'm going to share my screen. As you can see here, Bitcoin is, as last week, just where we left off, we gave Bitcoin an overall score of 3 on a scale of 1 to 7, with 4 being neutral, 7 being a very good opportunity, and 1 being a very poor opportunity. So we had Bitcoin scored as not an attractive opportunity, and we cited the fact that Bitcoin had fallen out of its trend range, its long-term distribution, this normal distribution, the 3 lines here with the median in white and the top end it blue and the bottom end it red. This goes all the way back into 2023. So 2-year long-term bull market, very tight up move, very few days where it popped either above or below this channel. And for the last 2 weeks, Bitcoin has fallen out of the channel. That is a negative as far as trend. And that's also backed up by our trend score. The trend score is here. It's the middle study here in yellow. It's the yellow line. And you can see that the trends have been worsening. They turned negative about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and they have just continued to deteriorate. And it's actually accelerated. So for the week, Bitcoin is down 11% this week. Very bad week. It's negative for the year. It's down 30% from its high back here in early October. So Bitcoin from a trend perspective looks very bad. From a cycle perspective, it looks pretty interesting. So our cycle score that I mentioned here is the bottom study, with green being attractive, like potential for a turn higher, red being unattractive, potential for a turn lower. And you can see that the cycle has been green for really this whole period of decline. So we're basically locked and loaded and just ready for the cycle to turn. It hasn't turned yet. When we look at this last study here is the relative strength index. It's the this top study here in the bottom panes in blue. It's the blue line. Remember that we use RSI to help us with potential turning points when the price of Bitcoin is either maybe advanced too far too fast or declined too far too fast. So a reading over 70 would indicate that Bitcoin's price is probably advancing too far too fast, and one a reading below 30, below this dotted line here, would indicate that Bitcoin's price has declined too far too fast. And here we are at, wow, as of today, as of about 24 is the reading as of the close. That's a very low RSI, indicating that Bitcoin may be oversold. So again, for the 3rd week in a row, we have the two sides of the coin. Trends look very bad. The cycle and the RSI look attractive. The weight of the evidence we would have to continue to give to the trend. You don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. Right now, the trend is lower. So we continue to be on a wait and see. Let the price of Bitcoin, let Bitcoin prove that a bottom's being put in. Let's wait and see the bottoming process begin. As you can see here, that there has not been much of a pause in the decline. Even today, it is again this Friday, the 21st. Equity markets did turn around and move higher. A lot of the other risk assets are moving higher. Bitcoin is still down about 2%. So it's the prudent thing at this point. Our suggestion for people considering long-term positions would be to wait for a better opportunity and let Bitcoin prove that this decline potentially has ended. And look, we're not going to catch the bottom. The goal isn't to try to market time the bottom. We're just looking for high probability entry points, and it would make us feel a lot more comfortable. We always like to be a little bit late than a little bit early, especially when it's the trend that is going in the wrong direction. And so let's let Bitcoin put in a bottoming process here. Let's look for signs that the cycle is turning. Certainly the situation is set for that to happen. We just need it to follow through. So overall score this week is a 2, just because the trend is so powerful. We're recommending a wait and see at this point. So again, any questions, please, or any specific advice, I would encourage you to reach out to an advisor here at Grimes and Company, and we'll have an update for you next week as well, as always. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend and have a very happy Thanksgiving.